Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of One Arm Wednesday. I was recently looking back at some of my old training notes, and I found one different progression that hasn't really gotten that much love from my channel, and I wanted to bring it up and share it with you and see if it can help you with your one arm pull up journey. If you watched my video on Monday, you might already know the answer, but let's get into it. Shameless plug alert, please remember to like the video if you do enjoy it and to subscribe to the channel for future content. Now, as most of you remember, before I went and got the one arm pull up, I was mainly focusing on weighted pull ups. I was building up to a heavy one rep max, and then eventually I started to transition into doing assisted one arm pull ups before eventually getting the one arm pull up. But one thing I forgot was that I had an entry level kind of progression before I even started doing assisted one arm pull ups. And looking back, I think there was a lot of benefit to adding in this progression. That progression is the one arm row. Specifically, I did it on a TRX, so it's the one arm TRX row. Now, originally at the time, I was trying to work on getting a heavy weighted pull up, and this progression was mainly used to supplement that. The reason is because the one arm row is really good for building unilateral strength. So I was trying to build up strength in my left arm to keep up with my strength in my right arm since I'm right arm dominant. So by doing this, I was able to go in and kind of build up strength on one arm independently, and then that would then carry over into my weighted pull-ups and help me progress that way. What I didn't realize is that this was slowly starting to build up tendon and joint strength in my arms that could then be used when I would then later transition into assisted one arm pull ups. So, is this good for you? Let's break it down. So I think ultimately this is going to be a really great progression for someone that's maybe in the weighted pull up stage that wants to start transitioning towards a one arm pull up eventually, but still wants to mainly focus on their weighted pull ups. So this can be something that you do later in your workout to start getting exposed to one arm work, and it will also supplement your weighted pull up training. This can also be good for someone that's maybe progressing with their assisted one arm pull ups and wants a regression to fall back on after they've done their early stages of assisted one arm pull up training and give them a little bit more of a stimulus and a different type of push that they can go towards without fully deviating from their one arm pull up path. I think the big benefit too is that this is going to give you exposure to building up some of your tendon and ligament strength. It is something that is definitely critical and one of the hardest things to adapt towards when you're going from just regular pull ups into an assisted one arm pull up. So, this can be that bridge that helps strengthen it for those that are first starting out. Now, if you're someone that's already doing assisted one arm pull ups, potentially getting very close to doing the one arm pull up, then this could potentially be more of a liability because now you're adding in more stress on those same joints. So if you're already doing numerous sets of assisted one arm pull ups and you now try to add in more one arm work, you're just going to continuously keep adding more and more stress onto your joints. It could potentially help strengthen it out, but it could also add risk that you overdo it and therefore cause you to potentially have an injury or some sort of setback. So when you add this into your program, you need to think about it holistically, see if you're doing enough one arm work already where it might not make sense to do so, or if you're not doing enough, it could be definitely a bridge to help you progress towards your assisted one arm pull up. So if you decided that you want to incorporate this into your program, how would you go about doing it? Well, the great thing about this type of movement is you can progress it many different ways. You can make it really easy by being more vertically upwards and doing this maybe at the end of your workout as a burnout, or you can even put this closer to the front of your workout if you're really wanting to start towards the one arm pull up, but maybe you're not at a stage to do an assisted one arm pull up yet. You could put your feet up on a box or add a weight vest to make it very challenging and do a row that way. It's not doing the same movement pattern as a pull up. It's a row, so it's hitting a different part of your back, but you're still going to get that eventual carryover and strength in your arms. So you can find that variation that works best for you. Personally, I just like, taking my steps in a little bit and getting more of an angle and getting some reps that way. I tend to get a good stimulus. And then I usually put this more towards the end of my workout. Ultimately, if I had to pick only one type of scenario to do, it would be that type of iteration after a weighted pull up workout. So that way I'm able to not only hit my weighted pull up goals, but also get some of that one arm pull up training near the end of it to help build up those joints and ligaments that I could then carry over later into the one arm pull up. So, those are my thoughts on the one arm row and if it could be valuable into your training and why I think it's a little bit underrated. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments down below. Like the video if you did enjoy it, and to subscribe to the channel. Have a good one, everyone. Let's go get that one arm pull up.